Welcome back
Yes, we are back.
to the Marshall Street podcast.
It's just you and me today.
It is just Stu and I.
Davey's a bit sick.
He's a little bit crook today.
Sick. Aw,
So we
poor
thought we'd do one
Davey.
without him.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about today, Stewie?
So today we thought we would talk about the importance of procedures and having procedures in place, scheduling,
Yep.
pricing, documentation,
Yep.
keeping track of stuff, and making sure you are consistent.
Yep,
I think
kind of the admin side that goes along with being an artist or
Yeah.
being a producer or a beat maker.
Yeah.
I think there comes a level when you start selling beats if you're a producer, or if you start working out of a studio and engineering for your time, or you start your band gets to a point where you guys are moving numbers and CDs.
or
there
even if
comes-
you're just like playing heaps of gigs.
Yep.
All that sort of stuff.
100%. There's times when admin and keeping all this shit in order, keeping documents, fucking Excel spreadsheets, all that stuff that no one really wants to do,
Yep.
but comes in super, super important and makes moving forward and getting to the next step a lot easier.
Yeah, I think even half of it is just keeping track of stuff because our brains aren't wired to remember everything. It's just not. I mean, no human
Yeah.
can possibly remember absolutely everything that they do and think about and talk about with people and all that sort of stuff. So the more that you can prepare yourself for forgetting,
Yep.
the easier you will be able to, just stay on track.
Yep, definitely. And it just means whenever you work with other people, you don't have to go around and you're scrounging through hard drives to find a logo that you like and then a press shot and someone else. Like just that kind of admin neatness means if you get a publisher on board or a PR company comes, you can just, cool, we've got all our digital assets in one folder.
Yep.
Here you go. Their job's super easy. You're going to come off as very well put together, that you actually look after your shit, that you care. And it's just good practice.
Yep. So I think the most logical place to start would be scheduling.
Yep.
Especially if it is a business that you run, a music business, or, if you are a producer and, you're not only just creating beats for yourself, you're doing it for the public and you're having to schedule time, you're having to schedule meetings, all those sorts of things. Having the right scheduling in place for yourself and so that other people know to keep track of where you are. And
Yep.
it's just kind of...
And you're going to be more efficient. You're going to get more
Yeah.
done at the end of the week. And I think that's probably a learning curve that a lot of creatives go through, in that they might get to a point when they can leave their full-time job for either part-time or they don't have to work at all around their music. And what happens is at the start, there's this thought of, oh man, this is fucking awesome. I can do music whenever I want. I'm going to
Yeah.
be fully in charge. I'm going to wake up. I can go straight into the fucking lab and get working on some tunes. And I'll wake up in the middle of the night with an idea and I'll be able to
Yeah.
lay it down.
Yeah.
Like this is the kind of fucking fairy world that people will think. And what happens in reality is if you don't have a structure or if you don't have a schedule for that week and what you're going to do day in, day out, you get complacent. And over time, you're not as efficient with your time. You're not as efficient with your time off as you are with your time on. The time when you spent looking at music isn't that efficient because there's a lack of
There's always
structure.
things on your mind as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
If you aren't prepared and you haven't got your time set out when you're going to do stuff, and say you've got something due, but it's not due for like a couple of days, and you know that you're going to put it off, but you haven't actually accounted for it or you haven't scheduled for it, that's always going to be in your head when you're making music. So you're going to be like, I know I've got to send that track off. I haven't finished mixing it, but I'm really focused on working on my own track at the moment. But there's still that thing that I've got to do.
lingering,
It's like
yeah.
you can't set your mind at ease, and you can't just be relaxed and going with the flow if you haven't scheduled your time properly.
Yep, 100%. And if you're not writing it down and keeping a diary or whatever these tasks, then you're almost adding another layer on top of that because you're constantly telling yourself that you've got to remember all these things.
Yeah.
When it's like the irony that structure will actually give you freedom.
Yeah.
If you have a ironed out structure of day to day, week to week, it's not we're predicting what you're going to be doing in a month, but your actual time spent in terms of, all right, this is going to be this is producing music, this is when I do the admin work, this is, when I'm going to be preparing my press kit or release kit or whatever you're doing, just sectioning off those blocks and making sure that they are ticking everything you need to be doing. It means when you're actually focusing on a task or doing something, you don't have to worry about, fuck, have I done this and what have I forgotten? And you don't get any phone calls and you're like, fuck, I forgot to call this dude back, because it's written down. You're taking the memory out of it and you're just automating it,
it,
putting procedures in place.
And I think and when it comes back to, if you get to the point where you are making money off clients, you know, you are at that stage where, you know, you're working with someone, say you're a sound engineer and you're doing a recording session. If you know that you're getting paid for that session, you're writing it down in a diary or a planner.
Yep.
You're saying this person's coming in on Thursday. We're doing 4 hours of work. They're paying me this much. Have they paid? Yes or no? And you've got that documented on the page at that time.
Yep.
You know, Thursday at 4 o'clock, they're coming over.
Yep.
4 till 8. I know that they're paying me that much. And you're keeping track of that. It's not a matter of writing it down once and then going, cool, I don't have to worry about it again.
Yeah.
No, you're making sure that you're checking that every day and you're accounting for what work you've done,
Yep.
who you've worked with. It's also just a really good thing so that you can look back on in 6 months' time
100%. It's a great
and
habit.
go, hey, I've actually worked with a shitload of people this past 6 months. Have I got that up to date on my website? Like, there's so many things that it's kind of like it leads to other things.
Yep. And not only that, it's good if for whatever reason people want to argue about something or claim that you did something that you didn't, or that you didn't spend time doing something you should have. If you keep track of your diary and hours spent, you just flick to that page.
Yep.
Like, hey, it's very clear. Hey man, on Tuesday, 4 to 6 p.m. we did vocals.
Yep.
Then we jumped in and did drums, and that was it for the day. And that was something that I got taught during my electrical apprenticeship. And the reason was every day they'd hound you that you had to keep a diary of all the work you did and who you worked with. For the reason, if in 4, 6, 10 years, you know, an office building burns down or someone's getting sued for some work cover something, you can bring out your diary and you can look on that exact day who you were with, what work you did, and it's all there. So it's even as a baseline, as a fallback, it's just a very good habit to get into in case something fucking goes on down the future. You've got a reference.
A lot of the stuff that, you know, procedures and scheduling and making sure you've got good documentation, a lot of it is for the in case of. You know, you might not have to refer to it, but what's worse?
Yeah.
Actually having to refer to it and not having it, or just having it there and you go, yep, I'm glad I did that.
100%. And then it means you've got actual real data. You're not kind of going off gut feelings as in, oh, I felt like I worked a lot this week, so I did. Or, man, it felt like we sold a lot of beats this week, so, you know, it must be good. You can actually look at those stats and you're like, well, that's weird. Okay, it felt like this was a busier month, but last month we actually made more money.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And it's so funny. I think that creative mindset always challenges the strict hardline procedural stuff.
Yep.
You know, and the way that I would probably look at it is, it's like, you know, if you're not used to having music as your business, as your life, then you might look at successful companies and go, oh, they're fucking wankers, you know, like
procedures.
Yeah,
it's not
oh,
what
look
it's
at them.
about.
That's, you know, it's not about that, you know. But when it comes down to it, if you are a full-time musician, engineer, beat maker, whatever it might be, business owner of some sort, at the end of the day, you're a sole trader, and you've got to really account for the work that you do, and you're selling yourself short potentially. You know, you're not making the money that you should, or
You're definitely not
if
setting
you forget
yourself
to
up.
fucking ask someone to pay you for the work that you've done.
Yep.
Just because you haven't kept track of it.
You're not setting yourself up for longevity.
Yeah. And so it's about flipping that mindset of like, okay, yes, I love making music and it's my passion, and I'm, you know, lucky to be able to do this as a full-time job. But if you're not doing that procedural stuff, getting the procedures in place, you are really, you know, you're hurting yourself in the long run.
You're not running it as
short term
efficiently.
and long run.
Yep. And I'd even put it that way, that if there's this magical place that a lot of artists want to get to, where they're just the artists and they just get to make the music, like if you're picturing in your head that procedures and these business plans and all this isn't something that's not for artists or for music, I think there's a lack of understanding in what happens behind the scenes of the music industry. But put it this way, any artist or any band, all this admin, paperwork, procedures, all that is done and is put in place regardless of if the artist has to do it or not.
Yeah.
So if you're not prepared to do it and you're not making enough to pay someone else a full-time wage to do this stuff, I'd say it's time to fucking look at it and do it yourself.
Reevaluate, yeah.
Yep. Because it's not, no one has a successful career without these being in place.
Yeah.
So if we look at that, it's either you're going to do them and you'll get better of them over time. You'll build procedures. You'll see what works, what doesn't. You'll get your social media will be a lot tighter because now you're running on a social media schedule. Either you'll do it or you're fortunate enough and you'll know if you're in this position where you're making enough money off your music and a label's going to handle all this.
Yeah,
and in
or
which case
if
you'll
you're
know
an
that.
engineer or something, like I was listening to a podcast this morning with Tom Lord Alge, and he was talking about how he has a manager, and his manager takes care of his scheduling for him. He's booked out 3 months in advance.
Yep.
You know, he's an interesting one because he works out of, like, he lives in Florida. He doesn't live in LA or New York. He is the sort of engineer that sticks to his guns, knows what he's good at, and really just says, if you want me to work for you, you come to me, that sort of thing. But being that sort of engineer doesn't allow you to just be in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
So you have to be organised.
He's also done. He would have done all of that himself before getting to this point.
Correct.
Of having a manager.
Correct.
Like-
But without having that manager who does these things for him, his timeline would fall apart. He wouldn't be able to keep track of what jobs he's
100%.
doing.
And then there's
you know.
and I know that's going to spark up the hearing of people listening. They go, well, sweet, that's the answer. I get a manager. You need to be earning enough to pay these
Yeah,
managers.
exactly.
Like, there's a big kind of mystical sense around the term manager when artists are starting out. Like, oh, I've got to manage. So just like, then they fucking management. What 20% of nothing is nothing.
Yeah.
Like what artists expect of managers, whether it's an engineer or an artist, whoever it is. They expect this manager to be the holy grail for them that organizes everything. They get all the contacts, all the hookups. The thing they forget is that they need to pay this person.
Yeah.
This person lives off them.
Does
if
their
they
job.
don't make money,
Yep.
they don't have a manager.
They're essentially doing half of your job for you.
Yeah.
Because half of your job is admin,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Any creative, any artist, any musician, engineer, studio owner, anything like that, half of your job, if not more, is going to be admin. So if you're getting someone else to do it, you're paying them for it because that is a job.
100%.
Right? So, but if you're not in that position where you can afford to pay for someone to do that for you, you got to do it yourself.
100%.
Right. So let's get back to it. So scheduling,
And that's-
keeping a calendar.
Yep,
I think is
calendar's
a
great.
super important thing to do. We the way that we do it here is we have the Google Calendar, which all of us have access to, and we input on Google Calendar. You can have certain color coding for. We do like our rehearsals are based on orange is room 6.
Yep.
The recording studio is purple.
Yep.
We've
The
got
other
it like
rehearsal
that.
rooms be another color.
Yep.
So basically, when we put in a task or a time from anyone, we can put in their name and the time. We know where they're going to be in the actual facility.
Yep.
Who's handling it.
We've even got one for you for when you're having meetings off site. So we know
Yep.
that if you're not here, we know where you are and
Yep. Yep.
how we can contact you. And then we also keep track of I do, of what I've done in my own personal calendar
diary. Yep.
and my planner. So starting to pick that back up again because we've had a few more clients come in. We've had different recording times.
Yep.
They've come in, they've done guitars on one day, they've done bass on another day. So it's important for me to know how long it took to actually do the recording so I can base future clients off of that as well. So getting back into the keeping a planner and a personal diary of all of the stuff that has happened.
And if you make it a habit, like every morning, you don't have to write in, it doesn't have to be a long fucking entry or anything, but every morning,
15
if
minutes.
you spend, 10 minutes, 15 minutes writing what you did the day before, what happened, if anything big came up, you make a note of that. It's just a great habit to do.
Yep.
Not only that, I think a lot of artists, especially in the music industry, but a lot of people have this kind of 10 or 15 year in the future version of themselves where they're rich. They're they're living this life. They have a point they want to get to, and the steps in between is what they haven't ironed out yet. But a lot of people will tell you, oh yeah, like in 15 years, dude, I'll be made it. And one thing that isn't talked about is just about every highly successful person here, and not like people who have one-hit wonders or whatever. People who have worked to get themselves to a level of success.
15, 20 years
They
worth
all
of
keep
artists.
a diary. One thing most millionaires have in common is they all keep a daily diary because it keeps you accountable for your actions that day. And then it's exactly as we spoke about on the No Guts, No Glory podcast. It's day after day, putting one foot in front of the other, ticking it over. That's how you get these big fucking things executed.
Yep.
That's how you actually make a difference.
Yep.
It's not by not doing anything and squirreling away and being alone in a room for 2 weeks and then coming out and you change the world. It's
Yep.
going about it day in, day out, putting in the work, keep your admin in order, to keep a diary, then at the end of each month, do a monthly wrap up where you just write paragraph, how that month felt to you. Oh man, it was good. I got a heap of new clients. It felt like recording was picking up, or, I've sold more beats online to North America. I'm going to really look at it. Like, just gauge what you're doing and see if it's good to continue it.
Yep.
Like, all it is you're just doing what you think is the best plan at this point in time, execute on it, then go and audit back and see if you do it again.
I think that's an interesting point because you're not changing the way that you do things.
No.
You're just adding in a couple of extra things that make life easier.
Yep.
And it's always good to evaluate on how things are going. And without documentation, you're relying on your memory, and your memory can lie to you. Or,
100%.
like, it really can
Your
lie to
memory
you.
is flawed.
Cool. So scheduling, tick that one off.
Yep.
For me, the next super important one is got to do with note taking. For me, as the sound engineer, when I'm in the studio, I'll always have my computer open. I'll sometimes have a pen and paper next to me, but I think it's easier these days with the computer documentation, Google Drive, the way that it is. I'll just give you an example. So All We Need, they have been in the studio for the last 3 weeks or so. We still haven't finished their album, so I need to know where I'm up to, right? So on every day, I've got a single document for every song that we're working on. So that when it came right at the start, pre-production, we set them up in the studios and we got them to play their every song that they are planning on recording, or every song that they have, just in full as a band, just play it through. And then we all sat back, mapped out the tempo of the track, whether it felt good at that tempo, whether it was too fast or too slow, notate that.
Yep.
Figure out the tempo, write it down. Then it's like, is the arrangement of the song good? Let's write down what needs changing in the arrangement. Or, if we're cutting and pasting and whatever, we note down what we've actually done. Figure out whether there's any tempo changes. So note taking, all of that stuff, that's pre-production, right?
Yep.
Then it's like, okay, we need to figure out which guitar tones we need to do on which tracks. So it's like, okay, we've got heavy distortion on all of the songs, but some of the distortion tones are different than others. So then it's like, well, we're not going to set up and pack down and set up and pack down and set up and pack. We're going to get all of that shit done at the same time, so we're not wasting a lot of time.
Yep. And then and just also to maintain consistency to that tone.
100%.
Like at the start of the recording, when you're playing around with different amps and head combos and guitars, when you get that tone you want, like the last thing you're going to do is fucking pack it down at the end of that day to set it up again to try to replicate what you had 2 days ago.
Yes.
So this organization just brings in, and if everything's mapped out, you're like, cool, we also need that tone for this part of the song and this part.
Yep. So all of this note taking, just, we're doing 12, 13 songs. It's like, you can't be expected to remember absolutely everything. Yep. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible.
At some point, it will let you down.
It will many times.
Yep.
Like probably more often than not, because you just won't. How could I remember which track they've got to do that distortion tone on? There's no way.
We're not talking about your tracks here. Like, you as the engineer, you're working with a third-party band that's coming in. Like, this isn't your tracks you've sculpted over, so you know
exactly.
the 12 tracks.
I haven't been playing
out.
the song for a year.
Fucking yesterday, these are 12 tracks you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I've seen some of how you keep your plugins and everything in that.
Yep.
Do you want to walk us through kind of how your notes will translate into, say, setting up for future sessions down the line?
So that comes down to templates. Templates I use more for... So, for example, for All We Need, we're using the same drum mics across every song. So rather than creating a new session, clicking new track, selecting how many tracks they are, selecting which inputs they're on, the better way of going about it is creating a template after you've done the first song, because all of the drum mics are the same. You just start the next track from that same template. And you name it a certain file name, so All We Need recording, and then every track that we do from there starts off with the same template. That saves overall probably about an hour's well, maybe not that much, but half an hour to 40 minutes worth of work overall, which
Yep.
they would be paying for. I don't want them to have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Me fucking around on a computer. That's
Correct.
bullshit.
And like that, and that's something that it's one of those things you don't notice it when it doesn't happen, but you fucking notice it when it does. Like if you're recording and you're with an engineer and you're watching him fuck around and struggle with the software, and you know or just doing shit that could have been alleviated with proper planning. You do notice that as a band, because at the end of the day, you're paying for the time. You're paying to be here. But on the flip side, like when you don't notice it, it goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
You know, which is fine. It's kind of like if someone's noticed it, you fucked up.
Yes.
So all of this planning,
You can't complain about something that you don't notice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. So
Yeah.
it's just giving you giving yourself the best chance to deliver a good fucking product, impress your clients, be in a position to get more clients from that. You're gonna learn. And I mean,
The other thing in that, when it comes to mixing's another thing. Like, you know, I'm mixing the whole album too. So when it comes down to creating plug-in chains, effects chains, I will say after every session that I finish mixing, I will save every preset chain that I've done on that session. So I've worked with Claria Boss, and all of her different vocal effects chains in different songs are different. So you know, I'll use different delays, different distortion effects, you know, compression, blah 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 blah. But because I might want to use that again in the future, I'll save that as another effects chain template kind of thing that I can just bring into any other session from there. And if I have a singer or a rapper that's similar to Claria, I can go, ooh, I remember that worked on that song. So let's try it on this one. That's just cut out up to half an hour's worth of fucking around trying to find the right plug-in.
100%. And that's super.
Cool.
So that's what I would call being proactive about how to keep your admin and things in order, as opposed to being reactive, where you're waiting for that time to come, where you're in the studio with another female rapper, and then you're like, whoa, it'd be really sick if I had Rye's fucking chain here. You know, by being proactive about it, you're making the procedure of, all right, after every session or every day I'm in the studio, I'm going to save that processing chain in case I need it. It's being proactive to looking out for what could happen.
The other thing that would have to happen is I would have to go back into her session.
Yep.
There's a number of things that could happen. I would have to go back into her session, save the template, quit her session, come back into the other session, then drag the template in. That seems pretty quick. But if I'm doing that for every single time, it all adds up.
Definitely.
The other thing that I would have to do is guess. You know, and I'm like, oh, I think I remembered using that plugin for the delay. Let's try it out. Spending 15, 20 minutes tweaking that to try and get to sound similar to the other one. Or the session's gone. I don't have that session on this computer anymore. Then what? You know, I'm guessing again. So it's just, for what takes 2 minutes at the end of finishing that track, you know, 2 minutes per time that I'm saving it, not even. It adds up at the end, but I'm saving so much time at the time that I think of it.
Definitely. Not only that, by documenting it that way, like, you're just going to mean you're more efficient when you're actually learning about what you've done previously. Like, you know, in this journey, especially going through a creative field, like, we're always trying to upskill and learn new things and see what's going on, whether that's on new shit online or new hardware. Like, you're constantly learning. Like, no one's at a point right now
where they know everything.
And not only that, but they will then be able to carry that and have a career over the next 15 years. Like, you just won't.
It just changes too much.
So by having this structure behind it, fuck, guess what, man? Your self-learning, your fucking upskilling is going to be improved.
And as time goes on, every week, every month, every year, you will be updating that process and just getting more and more refined until you're the fucking fastest engineer in the world.
And people notice it, like, and they might not say it to you, but people fucking notice. If you go in, you know, hip-hop guys will know this because generally a lot of rappers will have to go in and they're reliant on a producer to be in the room or an engineer to actually make the session run. But if you're in the room with someone who's seamless and all their shit's labeled in a proper folder and you're like, hey man, can you just chuck this on another channel and bring this around? They're like, yeah man, cool, got it. And they're fucking onto it. Like, the creative flow doesn't get interrupted and you enter into this feedback loop.
Feels
and
so
it's like,
good.
fuck dude, this guy's got it, he's onto it. It's like, I've got my stuff working, and you're just rolling. Whereas if you're trying to get something going, and then the guys are like, hold on, man, just let me plug this mic in. Oh, sorry, I haven't used this one before. I'm not sure how it's
misplaced the
done.
mic, or where's that lead that I put?
And he's
I
like,
put it
"Oh,
somewhere.
Actually, like, we'll just do it raw, and I'll do the processing later.
Yeah,
like,
don't you worry. Yeah, it's just like
you're not going to be as productive. The session's not going to fucking turn out as well, and you're going to hear it back in the recordings.
Yeah.
Like, because so much of the recording you hear is what happened in the room. It's the vibe of it. Like, people's voice changes. Like, they get more excited. Like, all
and
these things.
the negative impact far outweighs the positive
huge, like,
of saving that time in that moment where you're like, oh, I'm just going to do it later.
Yeah.
The negative impact of that, like, they're not going to feel the vibe in there when they're like, can you put some, reverb and compression on my voice? You do it in 2 seconds. They're like, fuck, this sounds mint.
Yeah.
I'm psyched. Like,
Yes.
this is going to be sick. And they're just laying down some fucking really feeling good about it.
Yep.
As compared to, I can't really hear myself. I better not tell the sound engineer because he doesn't sound like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you don't deliver the same performance. It's
Yep.
just, yeah. And then, they might not want to come back.
100%
That's
they're not
the
gonna wanna
worst
come
thing
back.
that can happen. At the end of the day, they're not going to want to. They're not
Yeah.
if they haven't got confidence in you.
Yep.
Why would they want to keep working with you? They're going to
They're not.
find someone else that they gel better with.
Yep. And that's, I'm sure every artist has gone through that at some point, whether it's the first fucking CD you made or your first track recorded, where you go in, and a lot of the time it can be expensive for independent artists who are working on the side to finance their career. You go in and you pay for it, and you listen back, and the track just doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't
fucking-
hit.
You're just like, man, this sounds like dog shit.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit
disappointing.
of, maybe in your head you're a little bit better than you actually are. But then also, maybe not being able to communicate with the engineer properly, combine that with an engineer that maybe you chose because he was the cheapest one, not necessarily the one who's going to get the best product.
Yep.
All of these little things come into play.
Pay for Maccas, you get Maccas.
100%. And that's the worst feeling as a creative, is when you invest all this time, money, emotional stress into your art, creating this thing.
Yeah, you're building it up in your brain. You're
Yeah.
like, man, I'm going into the studio to record a song.
Yeah, and so
I've been waiting for potentially my whole life for this, and then the first result that you get is a shit one.
Yep, and
it's going to kick you in the teeth a bit.
It does.
Yeah.
But the flip side, the opposite. I'm going to say it because he's jamming right next door. Ben Witowski, who had a single come in. Witkowski.
Yep, that's the one.
Who came in, had a single again that he'd probably worked on for years.
Yeah.
Like on and
6
off.
years, he said.
Yeah, came in, recorded it, and I mean, fuck, just the look on his face when he heard that back. You're just like, fuck, man, that's the feeling you want.
Yeah.
Like he was like,
all
you
led
could
up to
tell
that
it was
moment.
like, man, everything in my head that I'd thought of and put, it was now tangible. It was
Yep.
now in a listenable product that fucking encapsulated everything he fucking
Yeah.
wanted, and
Yeah.
it came out sick. And like that, like as a studio owner, that to me was like, fuck, this is dope, because now
Yeah.
you've got an engineer who can bring someone's ideas to life.
Yeah. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's not
Yeah.
it's not for me. I love doing it. This is my life. Like, I want nothing more than to mix but I'm not always mixing my own stuff. I'm mixing everyone
Yeah.
else's. So how can I get the best product for someone? And all of these little things,
Yep.
they all just add up. Scheduling, making sure you're mixing at the right time.
Yeah.
You're not fatiguing yourself. You're taking notes.
It's a
You're
good one,
getting
even having
prepped.
breaks so you don't fatigue your ears.
All of that sort of little things
Yep.
that just seem so insignificant that you could put off. You go, maybe I just won't take that break,
Yep.
or maybe I won't write that note down. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
It's going to bite you in the ass. So
Yep.
the more that you can be prepared,
And
the better
it's a
off
lot
you'll be.
like mixing. When I was back when I was still chasing the dream of being a mix engineer, Mikey Costa, he was a dude at NMIT he actually started out with Jack the Bear. Is how those two met, and now I ended up being with Jack the Bear. Anyway, how he put it to me with mixing is like, it's because I was just going super hard on plugins and fucking smashing stuff so you could hear it, and it's really extreme. And he's like, man, you just got to tone it the fuck back. Like, it's about a whole lot of incremental 1%ers that get the overall picture there. It's not about seeing how hard you can smash something just because you heard the fucking tone change.
Yep.
And then when you kind of get into that mindset of mixing where it's just 1%ers and they all add up, same fucking thing with the other side of it.
Subtlety
with the
is
admin.
king, for
Yeah,
sure.
like keeping notes. Hey, someone cancel a fucking booking. All right, let's put that down. Cancellation here. You have their phone number. Fuck, if they called in 3 months, you're gonna know. Hey man, you actually cancelled me last time. Just letting you know now. I'm taking a deposit.
Yep. Yeah. You're just setting yourself up again.
Yeah.
Yep. For success.
Yep.
What's next? What area would you like to move on to?
Pricing.
Yep.
Pricing wise, I think that's one a lot of people starting out struggle with. Even same of myself.
Yeah.
When you're first starting out, putting a price on your service, on your skills, on your time spent.
So the important thing there is actually taking the time to figure out, what your time is actually worth.
Mm.
Most people in this field start off doing things part time.
Yep.
Like
100%.
that's
I'd say you
pretty
have
much.
to.
I'd say like 100%.
Yeah,
Like
unless
nah, maybe not 100, but very close to 100% of people start
for
off
sure.
doing things part time.
for sure.
Because you can't just go straight into making money.
Yeah.
You can try and you probably fail, but so obviously your skills get better as time go on.
Yep.
The hardest thing at the start is going, what am I worth?
Mm-hmm.
How do I compare to everyone else? Like having an objective view of
Yep.
like your skills compared to the market.
Yep.
What's your niche? All that sort of stuff comes into play, but the actual documentation side of things and getting prepared and figuring out your pricing so that you have a consistency across the board
Yep.
is one of the most important things.
Yep. And I
What do
think
you
this
reckon?
I think this is a super interesting one because I can fully understand and see both sides of all the conversations here. So on one hand, people are only going to value you as you value yourself.
Yeah.
So there is, let's say someone's just starting out on their own, they put in fucking years, 6, 8 years or whatever work behind the scenes to get to a point where they're now going, fuck, I can make money being an engineer. I've honed my fucking skills. I know what the fuck is up. Just because you haven't been charging people, maybe not, full rates or whatever previously, this is going to be a barrier that you have to cross because now you do have to charge people.
Yeah.
You have to stick
Yeah.
to rates. You have to potentially say no to clients who aren't willing to pay that rate. And sticking to those values will dictate the sort of clients you get.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, you have to value yourself because no one else is going to fucking show you any
Yeah.
sort of respect if you
No one's going to make your prices for you either.
Correct. Not only that, but it's kind of that you pay for Maccas, you get Maccas. You advertise your services on Gumtree, you get clients who look for businesses on Gumtree.
Yes.
The only reason you go to Gumtree is for the cheapest price.
Yeah.
If you care about something, you're not going to go looking for it on Gumtree.
Yeah.
You go to Gumtree when you want the fucking cheapest price possible.
Yep.
So again, being aware that where you advertise is going to dictate the sort of clientele. If you're known that you're going to fucking budge on prices and oh man, it might say on the website, but just go talk to him, he'll fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like word will get around town. And
you'll constantly
become
undersell
that.
yourself.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
and it's hard. I'm not saying any of this is easy, especially starting out, but it's by sticking to your guns, by valuing yourself. Again, if it's done appropriately, with feedback, you've actually gone, cool, how good am I compared to others? You need to stick to that. You need to really fucking stick to your guns and back yourself in. And yes, it might mean saying no to a client, but all it's going to do is show that you actually believe in what the fuck
values.
you do.
Yeah.
The other side of it is you're only worth what the market's prepared to pay. So you might have these ideas that you're worth X amount or that this and this. At the end of the day, you're worth it if someone's prepared to pay it.
Yeah.
Like any high-paying fucking business consultant or high-paying engineer or high-paying studio, like they exist because people pay it. People see a value in it and they're prepared to save up or make the sacrifice, whatever it is,
Yeah.
to pay for that. And that comes down to feedback. If you've set your prices and no one is willing to pay in the first 12 months, maybe readjust.
I can tell you, I think based on me, who I did go out on my own for a few years doing sound stuff on the side.
That's right, I forgot about that.
I never once had anyone complain about pricing. I set the price, but I mean, when I started off doing hourly rates. It made sense to me because I needed to at the time get paid for the hours that I did. It was kind of like I had to figure out what I was worth. So I figured out based on other jobs that I've done that aren't related to music, this is what I get paid. So I don't want to get paid less than that, right? Because I'm doing something that's more specialist. So at the start, I was like, let's just set that bar there. And then that was what I charged per an hourly rate, blah, blah, blah. Did that and never had any issues. But from that, I was able to figure out these are the amount of, based on my scheduling and my note taking, and I kept my diary. I kept the amount of hours that I'd worked for people, the amount of time it took to mix, the amount of time it took to record. I was like, okay, I know now that this is approximately how long it takes to record certain bands. From there, I was able to go, okay, I locked down, this is the figure per song.
Yep.
This is what I'm charging. Sometimes I'm underselling myself. Sometimes I'm potentially charging too much because it might take shorter.
Yep. But it comes out in the wash.
It comes out in the wash, and it's also the amount of time that it took to actually get there. And I'm factoring in all of the time I've spent learning,
Yep.
Studying I had to pay for, whether you do that or not, you're still somehow studying a certain way.
Yep.
And a lot of the time you're not getting paid for studying. No one's getting paid for studying, really. So all of that gets factored in until, you've done enough jobs. You go, okay, I know it takes this many hours to approximately. I've, spent this time. I believe that this is what I'm worth. Lock it down. This is how much a song costs to record, etc. So,
Yep. And
but that was based on all my note taking.
Yeah, exactly. You
And
can't,
time.
it's very hard to make an accurate judgment on that without an actual fucking sample size,
Yep.
without actual data.
Yep.
Where you can sit back, because again, your mind, your memory will lie to you. It might, if you really like the band and you fucking just happen to be buddies
Time
with them.
flew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, oh, that mix time took nothing.
Yeah.
When really, maybe it did. You just
Yeah.
enjoyed it more than the band that you ended up
Yeah.
losing money on because you thought mixing went on or whatever it fucking is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And then there's another interesting segue off pricing here, which I'll come to now, which is beat makers selling beats online.
Yeah.
The idea that you can lease beats
Yep.
these days,
Yep.
that's new.
That is new, yeah.
That,
it's in the past 3-4 years.
Yeah. Back when DYE, when we were making tunes, that was not even a thing.
No.
The term beat lease wasn't fucking there.
Yeah.
Non-exclusive lease to
You
stuff
either stole it or you paid for it.
Yeah.
You
Or
stole
made
it or you bought it or you made it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's an interesting period we're currently in. I look at it as like the fucking Wild West of beats. It's a period in time when for some reason all these producers all over the fucking world are uploading all of their fucking tunes
Yep.
to the internet.
I think there's a smart way and a not smart way to do it. Obviously, if you spend X amount of time doing something, the more time it takes, the more brain power it takes into creating, the more heart and soul you put into it, you're going to value that track more than a thing that you whipped up in a couple of hours.
Yep.
The smart producers, I think, kind of, the ones that are putting things on YouTube for free and all that sort of stuff, they're going, hey, this is what I'm capable of. And then they're redirecting people to their websites. And they're going, visit my website for even better stuff.
Yep.
And that's the stuff that they spent a lot of time on and they value, and they go, okay, this is how much this track costs. If you want to buy this, you can have it and no one else can have it. And that's a premium price, right?
Even that premium price,
it seems pretty ludicrous a lot of the
there's
time.
beats you can buy for fucking $5.
Yeah.
And you own it.
Yep.
It's yours.
Yeah, and I think that the smart people are valuing their time.
And I think it
those
definitely will
$5
change.
beats wouldn't be.
I think it'll definitely change, but it's kind of like the learning curve of you have to go through a period of oversaturation for it to kind of back off. I think right now we're living through that oversaturation point where there's a lot of beats out there at ridiculous low prices all over the fucking world. Producers are making beats and putting them up, and yet one thing a lot of hip hop artists will say is they don't have beats. Oh, I don't know a producer.
Yeah.
Where do you get beats from? Fucking Google.
YouTube.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think people are cottoning on though. I
hope so.
I think these days they're kind of getting the point.
The watermark at the start of beats is an interesting one. The producer tag that they're leaving in.
Yeah.
Again, that was not around fucking 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's funny that because rappers were doing it forever.
Yeah.
You know, they were always
But
saying
they always
they're
had a
in
voice on it.
Yeah.
And it was fucking, it was never with the DJ or the producer being able to fucking put a shout out on it.
Yep.
Stick to fucking what you know back there.
Yeah.
It's an interesting time.
But I guess we're talking about procedures and documentation and stuff like that. You had a dope document that came through from a producer that was wanting to work with Claraya. Remember that dude who sent the thing and it had like the track title, how long it goes for, who it's similar to.
Is that the coloured one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy had created
That
a
was Trav's
document.
buddy.
Yeah, Trav's mate.
Yep.
He'd created a document. He's got all the different track names. He's got the length, the BPM, the key that it's in, the who the track sounds similar to, where you can find it. So because he had it on multiple different platforms, he had Beatport, he had BeatStars, he had YouTube,
Whatever they
whatever.
are.
You know, but in this document,
Yep.
it was all there.
Yeah.
You didn't have to ask,
It was
where can
colour-
I
it was
find this?
itemized, color coordinated. Yes, and again, you look at that. Like I get that, and it's a lot cleaner and a lot better to look at and read than some of the other
Some
fucking
fucked
ways
up
people
web
send
website that
you.
you can't
Then
decipher
people
and
just
can't
send you
find.
a message. Hey man, I've got some beats. Do you want to use it? It's like. Fuck, who am I going to choose? Someone who can't put a sentence together or someone who's shown me that they are up to the admin tasks around their craft?
Yep.
Cool, you can make beats. A lot of people can make beats.
Yes. The internet's proven that
Yeah.
so many people can make beats.
What a lot of people can't do is look after their shit appropriately, answer emails accordingly, on time, call you back, make stuff clean for you to try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. What can you deliver them to make it almost impossible for that person to say no to whatever the fuck you want?
Yeah, exactly.
If you can make them impossible to say no, you're going to be good.
Yep. And then really it just comes down a lot of the time to personal choice.
Yeah. And even that,
You're taking that out of the equation a lot
Yeah.
of the time by being
And there is
as
little
good
things
as
like you never
possibly
know
can.
what could happen in a person's life that 15 minutes before they got your email or
Yes.
there's all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But you're taking everything that is in your control
Yep.
and you're looking after it.
Yep, alleviating all of those willy
Yep.
wony.
And you'll actually find a lot of people's stress levels will go down because they learn that, whoa, hold on, I'm actually doing everything that's in my control. The shit I was worrying about, I can't control that. When you're taking care of everything that's in your control,
Yep.
you learn what's not in your control. And
Yep.
you learn what shit you don't have to worry about. There's stuff that would have concerned me 2 years ago where it would have been fucking stressed and frantic. Now I'm just like, well, I couldn't have done anything about it.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it.
Yes.
You learn not to spend your mental...
If you can say that you've done everything that you possibly can,
in your... Yep.
then you should
sleep a lot better at night.
yeah.
I'll tell you that.
And, if you look at it from someone else's perspective, the ability to say that someone is easy to work with
Yep.
goes a long way.
Huge.
And that's how word of mouth spreads.
Yep.
Not only that, but it's just like if you can make someone feel at ease by working with you,
Yep.
they're going to come back to you.
Yep.
They are going to come back to you. Like, if you know that when you're in the studio with someone, it goes back to the other stuff that we were talking about. If you've got all your templates set out, if you're organized, you're on point, the stress levels are going to drop.
Yep.
Say, let's flip it. Let's say a band booker. Imagine you're a band booker and,
Yeah. For most
you're just
multiple venues,
not
which
organized.
usually they are.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh, what gig were you talking about again?
Yeah.
Oh, what time was that at? Oh, what bands are you playing with?
Yep.
Like, if you've got everything documented and you go, as soon as this person contacts me, I know what gig they're playing, which
Yep.
venue, what time, what the other bands are on the bill, and you get back to them within 5 minutes and say, yes, I know this, I know the answer to your question
Yep.
because I've kept all my shit. How low are the stress levels? Like,
Super.
it
And
just,
not only that,
you
it's-
don't even...
There's all the the core reason to do it is that it's so obvious, but all the other little reasons that I think people forget, and that's the real life reasons that if you're as a band booker, for example, if you've got all your shit fucking on point and everything's documented and you send stage sheets to all the bands, 2 weeks prior, you let them know load and you tell them, hey guys, there's actually parking in here around the... You've got all this shit on lock. When that shit when shit hits the fan where you need a band last minute and you're calling people, you're going to get a band that goes, yeah, man, fucking oath.
Yep.
Because your shit is fucking tidy.
Yep.
If you've played for a band booker, and I know we had, and Matt Zull, who will be listening to this, will be laughing his ass off because there was a band booker we played for, and it was the most, was the most unorganized
yeah.
piece of fucking shit
Yeah.
of a I don't even know if it was a company or booking agency or what the fuck it was. It was disgraceful though, and to the point where we would laugh about it. We had private threads on Facebook
Yeah.
and email conversations laughing about
Yeah.
how
What
unorganized this
happened?
particular person was. Oh, initially there was no like poster or artwork or anything. They were like had no idea who the sound guy was. We got an email like a week before, one of the support acts wasn't playing, someone's in jail, and it was like the sort of stuff you wouldn't
Just
read
absolutely everything that
about.
went wrong.
You
Yeah.
like you wouldn't. You just like it just got more ludicrous at every turn. Like
It's
you
like,
get
is
an
this guy on this planet?
Yeah,
Like,
to the point of we accepted it and we were just like, this is just outrageous.
this is going to be an interesting gig.
Yeah. And guess what? If we ever got contacted, message, email,
Yeah.
Facebook, by anyone
See you
got to do
later.
with that,
Yeah.
we're not doing shit
No
with
chance.
them. Even if they were a mutual friend on Facebook, I'm not fucking talking to you.
You're questioning that.
100%. Because if
How do you know that guy?
If you allow them to get away with that sort of bullshit in your life, what does that say about your standards?
Yeah, totally. Yep, you're a hard person, but that makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. You just don't need troubles in your life. Like
Nah.
everything else is hard enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and it's like it's on it. Even just thinking back on it, it is so funny, man.
Yeah.
And you can almost because everyone's seen it or has dealt with someone like that who's just so short term thinking
Yeah.
that whenever anything new happens, it's like, oh man, I never accounted for this. I didn't think
It's
this
like,
would
how
happen.
did you not think about this earlier? It's like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Oh, and
You didn't expect this? Like,
yep.
yeah, you didn't expect a band to rock up late?
And usually there's a lot of things consistently go wrong with them. They're not going to have a fucking career in the industry.
Yeah.
They're just not.
Yeah.
So if it's that black and white, let's go cool. Let's not do what they do to give ourselves
Yeah,
the potential
exactly.
to have a fucking
Yep,
career.
absolutely.
Now, another really good one, while we're talking about all this stuff, a great tool for artists to utilize who might be sitting there thinking, fuck, I want to get into scheduling and I want to clean my shit up. I've been thinking about it or putting it off for a
Yep.
while. I need to get my shit in order. G Drive.
Yeah, Google, like, we're obviously not endorsed by Google in any way, shape, or form.
But we're willing to be Google if you're listening and would like a exclusive on
Yep.
our systems.
Yep.
Get in touch.
Yeah, honestly, like, you get 15 gigabytes of free storage.
Yep.
At the moment, that's more than enough.
Yep.
Like, unless you're storing massive video files and
And
audio
then when you
files.
use it up, just make a new Gmail. Like
Yeah.
you get a free 15 gig G Drive with every Gmail address that you have.
Yep.
So for people who have no idea what the fuck G Drive is, it's basically a 15 gig hard drive on the cloud in the internet that you get free with every Gmail
Yep.
account you have. So in
Yep.
the top right corner when you're in your Gmail, there's 9 little squares. You click on that, you go to Drive, and it's just that. It's a hardware,
just
it's a hard drive in the
digital
sky, in the
drive.
cloud, where you can use to back up all your stuff. You can make folders, you can make your documents there, you can create all your branding assets in
Yeah,
one
I
folder.
think a lot of people use Dropbox still, but like, and that's fine.
That's fine.
But I just think like the way that Google have done it is you can create documents in their system. You can create spreadsheets,
Yep.
presentations if that's something that you're interested in. But the documents and the spreadsheets, they're just really user intuitive. You can keep your folders. You can color code your folders.
Yep. It's super easy to
just
share with
so-
people. It's like
yeah.
you right click, get shareable link, and email to someone and they have access, which again was super good. So back in the days, we had all these folders of documents, lyrics, used lyrics, not used
Yep.
lyrics, good lyrics, events, shows, stage plots for different. Like we had all this stuff organized. And it meant that if we came to do a release campaign with someone and say it was last minute, which a lot of shit in the fucking music industry is,
Yep.
cool, you've got a publicist on board.
Yeah, we need a press shot.
Yeah, cool. We need this. It's like, all right, cool. Let me just send you one link.
Give me
Like,
1 second.
Yeah,
and I
I'll
will
just
send
go
it through.
right click, get shareable link, send to the new PR manager, and they will have a fucking a folder with our logos, with our
Yep.
logo black and white, with our logo transparent background, with the fonts that we use, with
Yep.
all our press pictures, with our bio, short, medium, and long bio. Like
Yep.
once you've got all that, and people realize that you didn't curate it and make it just for them, that you have these things on hand, it shows.
It speaks volumes, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
It really does. And
Yep.
people are going to work with you again. You're going to get the best out of that PR agent because you've given them all the tools to work with to make their job easier.
Yep.
And everything's just going to be improved and tightened.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I had a thought before, but I can't remember what it was.
It's probably super crucial. And
very
you should have written it
important.
down on the notes.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? This is something that a lot of rappers and you know, that sort of thing use is the Notes app in their phone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been around for ages, but I still think that there's so many people that aren't utilizing the Notes app in your phone, because when you're out and about and you don't have your computer with you and all of that sort of stuff, you know, a lot of people these days in the music field will always have their computer with them. That's cool. But for when you don't and you need to remember something, you just make sure that you put it in your Notes app.
Yep.
And Google Drive is actually accessible on phones.
100%. That's how we do social media. We'll do all
Yep.
our video editing on the computer in there. Then I can upload whatever we want to a G Drive. On my phone, I've connected to that. I
Yep.
can be wherever I want, and I can pull up
Yep.
the videos we've edited, and I can post them.
Correct.
There's no, oh man, give me that hard drive and plug
There's
in the
no
phone.
friction there. There's no barriers.
Yep.
And it's really, really important that you really get used to, as soon as you have a thought about something related to your music, related to your business, as soon as you have the thought, write it down. Make sure you write it down, because you can easily forget things. As soon as, like, how easy I almost forgot what I was going to say then.
Yep.
You know, obviously we're in the middle of this podcast. I'm not going to whip out my phone and start writing notes. But, you know, it's something that happens when you're in normal conversation. You might have this thought based on what someone's telling you, or you might be listening to music
Yep.
and you think of a lyric and you go, oh, I've never thought about talking about that theme in a song. You know, how quickly you can write things and keep them organized.
Or just audio it.
Yeah, audio
Audio
note.
record, and then just make, you know, that every Sunday night
Yes.
you go through all your audios
Yep.
and you translate the ones that were worth keeping into a document.
Yep.
You might listen back
Even
to,
the ones that aren't worth keeping
Yeah,
them,
def-
put them
yep.
in the not worth keeping folder that you keep in the same
'Cause
drive.
in 6 months, that
just
might
never know.
that shitty thought that was shitty at the time
Might
might be
speak
the
to you.
thought that it triggers another thought, because now
Correct.
you're in a different position and now you actually know someone that you can do that idea with.
Yep. Yeah, and it's, I guess one thing that this leads us into is making sure you're going back and checking on things. You know, this set and forget mentality isn't good for you either. It's not good for your business, not good for your music. Don't just expect that you can do something once
Yeah.
and that'll be fine. You know, for example, with you're keeping your notes, you're scheduling, make sure you're going back and checking on that and repeatedly forcing yourself to get into the habit of checking on the things that you've written down. It's not enough to just write it down. You have to be able to, like you said, and that is included in the scheduling. If you make sure that you're checking those things at a certain time each week, you'll know, oh shit, it's Sunday at 2:00. I know that I've got to check my voice memos. That's the time that I'm doing it.
Yep.
You're getting yourself into these rituals, these habits, and you're just, you know, setting yourself
You're
up for
just
success.
improving yourself.
Yep.
Nice. Well, that was pretty good. Anything else you want to touch on there, Stewie?
I think, you know, it's just a matter of really setting yourself up. I think when it comes to all this stuff, it's really easy to forget to do things. The more often you do things, the more you get yourself into good habits, the better off you'll be. So don't think that, I'm just a casual musician.
Yeah.
Don't think about it that way. Don't sell yourself short. Take the time to really set yourself up, because you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
So why not make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position as possible
Yep.
to make sure that something could happen in the future.
Yep.
Cool.
100%.
If you guys have any questions for us, you can hit us up on any of our socials. We do have emails, stuart@marshallstreetstudios.com, ben@marshallstreetstudios.com.
Actually, that's Bennett at marshallstreetstudios.com.
My mistake.
Yep.
Bennett. BENNETT.
Correct.
Yeah, if you like what we put out here, make sure you comment. I think it's easy to just say, yep, they know that I like their stuff just because I've watched it. We
Yep.
really want people to comment.
Yeah,
we
comment,
want
leave some stuff,
interactions.
leave some thoughts. If you didn't like what we say, tell us.
Yep.
Leave a rating, leave a review, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
If you didn't like Stu's shirt today, let him know. Stu, what shirt
Yeah, I
is
don't
that?
know. It's a threadless. Oh, it's got a hole in it.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, it might show off a little bit of me
Well, that's
chest
it.
there. This is going in the bin. All right, cheers, everyone.
Thank you. We'll see you
See you next time.
time.
Bye.